Hello everyone, Constantine the Foolosopher here, back again. Beautiful Philippines, lovely day with Luna. Today I was thinking to talk about something that I read somewhere or saw in a video, that boring is your friend. And I think the first thing that came to my head, or it was maybe linked in that maybe book, that the movie Groundhog Day, which I never. Although I love that movie, Bill Murray is great, and it's a must-see movie. I never connected the dot that you know that was the meaning of the movie, and it became immediately after reading that. I'm like, oh my god, this is now one of my favorite movies to watch and recommend. Because if you think about life, can be chaotic, and chaotic is fun. Sometimes, on occasion, it can be fun, like a long party or a long events, an occasion. But nowadays, with the instant gratification, you see, we get bored easily, Hence why so many divorces, 50%, 60%. It's not violence or it's just boring. People are bored. So many options, too many distractions. It's the TikTok generation, and the future is gonna be even crazier. I said in another video where we're gonna have the lens inside the eye. We'll be like 24 hours. We'll be in another world. We'll be like in our own bubble. It's already bad enough now. Anyway, so the video today I'm trying to do is talk about why boring is so good to be your friend, and how much boring. It's kind of like reading, studying, working out, marathons. It can get boring, running every day, over and over, the same exercise. Here we go again, Arnold Schwarzenegger didn't become like that, because he got bored. You have to embrace boring. Like I used to do, street art all the time. Trust me, it became boring. It was fun at the beginning, exciting, wow. And it always kept this beauty in it. It's not 24 hours a day, boring. So you know what? You embrace it eventually, because in the long run, you see, at the beginning, it's kind of like everything at the beginning is fun. Then it gets boring, but then the results show up later, like in bigger steps. It's like a diet, The beginning, you lose a pound, but then the second one takes longer, and the third one might take longer, and the 10th one even longer. But you know what? That's where the beauty is, because eventually you go to the weight you want. And that's why people don't understand, this quick, chaotic, non-stop, gratification. This, TikTok all the time, all day, just to go from left to right. Another Tinder date, another this. I've been, I'm guilty too, I'm no saint. Over and over, So, yeah, that movie, if you haven't seen it, pretty much Bill Murray, I'm sorry to spoil it, but he lives the same day over and over. And the beginning, he kind of panics, and then he gets frustrated a bit, he gets mad, he's trying to take advantage of things, he just, it's a reaction. You just want to escape it, and you're just trying to fight it. He's trying to kill himself because he knows he's going to be, the next day he's going to be back to zero. So he just, at the beginning, he panics and, he just does dumb shit. And eventually, when he realizes that he can make the most out of this, that's when the movie takes a beautiful turn. And you realize that's when he, the main actress, falls in love with him. Because you see, it's kind of the big result, the big goal. To achieve the big step, you need to suffer. You need to embrace what you got. Embrace the little things you have, appreciate, and just keep enjoying the moment of the same thing. So the same goes with work, Yeah, work sucks sometimes because it's very, very boring. Art too, art. Look how many, musicians, the same old songs, same old things. That must get pretty boring. The first story is fun, the second one is funnier, maybe the third, 10th, and eventually it gets really goddamn boring. So you better enjoy this process, enjoy the little things. And the same with studying, how do you, it triggers us, oh my God, oh, not again, another chapter. But guess what? how are you gonna learn the language? You know, see the the closer you learn something to master something, it gets ultra boring. Matter of fact, it's like the Michelin star, restaurants. That's why many people can get there. You know, the 3-star Michelin. I mean, those guys are like 1 gazillion because nobody, it takes ultra boredom. Master every detail over and over and over and over and over, and nobody can do it. And that's why many people live in chaotic. Maybe people divorce. Maybe people switch careers. They have no idea what they're doing. They go left and they go right. They go 1,000 Tinder dates. And they're gonna end up, single. Like we know, like in 2030. I heard like in the West, would be like 50% of people single, no families. Because yeah, families too are boring. Yeah, we have to, we have to say hello, to nephew or, to grandma, whatever. It's not fun always. It's not like roses. It comes down to, we stop appreciating, those little things, daily things. So I highly recommend for you guys again to watch that Groundhog Day. I'm sorry I spoiled the movie, but trust me, it's a when you see it this way, you're like, wow, this movie becomes sounding a masterpiece. I mean, so it's a good rewatch. Watch again and again because it's one of those great movies, and also it's fun. So you get a good message and a fun movie. So I mean, other things I can show. I mean, like. I remember I was young, it's like you want to be excited. You always want to, to enjoy, another experience. You want to, yeah, it's kind of, you always want to get high, you want to try something different, a new high. But unfortunately, people, for example, who do it backwards, who crave for something like another, a different meal. Like even here, for example, you see my videos. I'm the same outfit, nothing. Shorts, right? Boring with the same dog, walking every day the same dog, and then when the dog's gonna be gone, there's gonna be another dog. My beautiful wife, same kid, over and over, and that's how it goes. You have to, this place especially, it's a small village, and people, it literally gets super boring. But you know what? I make the best out of it, and I have, I do my great work, I do my small workout, my small walk, my video, my music, my art, consistently. It's very, very boring. Trust me. After a while, I've been drawing since age 4, so I know boring. It's super boring. So it's like almost 50 years now, right? Almost. Wow. And if you think about it, like meditation, ultra boring. But the benefit is like a super diet. Like 30-day, fasting. That must be ultra boring too. But guess what? The results are amazing. And that's why we have to remind ourselves, like the more boring, the more amazing the result. And that's why a few people, are successful in doing what they do, because a few people can handle it. It gets really, really boring and very fast boring. And people cannot handle it. They go drunk, they take drugs, they start, eating like pigs. Because we cannot control. We want to be, we need new flavors, new excitement, new dates, But those things are temporary. It's a temporary fix. The long run, guys, the long run. Look, it's like a long planning, your retirement, even finances, You want the new machine, you want the new thing. Let the money on the side, compound it, it's hard, trust me, I've been there. It's hard to slow down, especially nowadays. Everything is so fast paced. The distractions, like here, especially, you can see even here, from the low pace of the village, when you go to the city, the noise, the constant noise. The music in the market to buy more stuff, to consume, distraction after distraction, Even the karaoke abuse some people, it's okay once a week, but that's not the goal of life. Unless you're a musician or something, but you gotta balance, the distractions, the the relaxation in the sense of don't abuse, the distractions, don't abuse them. The happy hours, going to work 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. or whatever time people go from 9 to 5. It is ultra boring, but guess what? That's how you get things done. That's how, jobs get done and, companies get built up. It's not like, Elon Musk didn't become a billionaire, by going happy hour, or distraction, on TikTok or something. And no offense to TikTok, it's just the abuse I'm saying. So I'm trying to read the notes. I'm going to show the view until I think of something else to mention, because I think I cover pretty much everything. Yeah, I mean, long-term relationships that can get boring easily. And the same goes with, a basic car. Like my Toyota is a very boring car. But trust me, in the long run, I'll benefit, Boring does the job. The same with the house, simple house. Boring as it is, But, look at this. You have the boring house. Look at this. From the ocean, like I said before, for 25,000. Let me know if you need, more advice. I mean, if I can give you any tips, mention. I can show you around. I mean, I don't know what you want to learn. I have so much, I've been through a lot. I'm not like 20 anymore. So I have experience, I've done mistakes, and maybe I can save you the trouble and maybe give you ideas how to stop wasting time and energy and distraction from one stupid thing to the next high and over, and time goes by and then you're like back to zero. And that's why in America, right now, that's why I left, because I get stuck into that cycle of like, left and right and distraction and this and that and that. Because, especially now that the price are crazy high. It's like, it's impossible to catch up. So like, forget about it. Let's come here and just slow down and, appreciate boring. And I tell you, the result. I mean, next level of this will be probably going to Tibet, with the monks or something. I mean, it's next level. I mean, it's amazing. It's not easy. It's not fun. It's not fun like, woohoo, party. No, but you discover yourself. You grow, slowly, baby steps. And I know this is going to eventually pay off for my own self. I don't care about the views or, subscribers. The last thing I care. For me, it's more like to share my knowledge, to educate, from the things that I learned. I'm pretty sure I'm right. I'm not like, a genius or something to know the answers of life. Nobody, I think, knows the answers. I mean, Socrates didn't know, himself said, he knows one thing, he knows nothing. But you observe that all these distractions, like the value of reading one good book versus like watching 1,000, TikTok. And I'm sorry again for TikTok or Instagram, whatever, all this nonsense, over and over, wasting time and, just going out and, with random people, wasting money on random stuff and just putting it, in a boring, account, boring stock, right? But eventually will pay off 1,000 times later when the stupid, video, sorry, the stupid, experience you had, like, with random people, I mean, again, you should have moments like that. But the most important is like to put a plan every day in your finance, in your career, in your family. I mean, every subject, everything has to be born. Meditation, spiritual, everything, Take care of, dogs. I mean, how many dogs have been rescued? Nobody knows about it. Nobody celebrates. Nobody says thanks to me. Maybe 2-3 people once, or something, 10 people max. But you know what? I pick up trash all the time. I see trash, I pick up. I never got any reward. Maybe 10 people noticed in 20 years that I do this. But you know what? For me, it's exciting. This is beautiful to clean up this gift that I get around me. Look at this. It's beautiful. That's the least I can do. I don't care about rewards or views or clicks or. That's the last thing I care. For me, it's like about doing the job, the right thing. Like I said in other videos, the ethics. That's why I'm vegan too. That's why you try and do the right thing. The compassion, the caring. A little appreciation to this beautiful thing we get around us. Look at this. Anyhow, I think I sidetracked and I took you everywhere. But please feel free to let me know if you have any questions. Other things you want me to cover. If I can help anybody, I'll gladly, be available. Put a message or something. And feel free to call me. There's a number on the. If you can reach me, sometimes because it's different time zone. Let me know and we'll try and set up something. And again, have a good day and say hello to Luna. She's deaf, so she has her own boring life. This beautiful, boring, but lovely place. Welcome. Anyhow, see you on the next one. Take care.